All right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Skymer. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this called up here. Let me see if I can get the chat. See if we can get anybody to join us today on this glorious New Year's Day, the first day of 2019. Let me see if I can get my headphones to sound good. Yeah, I like to really, yeah, that's it. That's so much better. I really like to just hear myself in my headphones. Makes me happy. Makes me feel like, yeah, people can hear what I'm saying. All right, let me see here. Still getting things together. And wow, we've already got 191 people watching. 204. Okay, there we go. There's the chat. What's going on, everyone? Hail, hail, hail Caesar. Hail the war campaign. Hail you all. What in the world is going on? Happy New Year's. Means a lot. Means a lot that we're starting the year today. Ben Strauss says, "Where the fuck is the High Council?" Ben, we're not doing it until next week. Like everyone kind of agreed to take the next 2 weeks off because Christmas and of course New Year's all fell on a holiday. They fell on my God, Christmas and New Year's all fell on a Tuesday. So we kind of all decided, well, let's take 2 weeks off. We'll come back next week, bright and bushy-tailed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to do the High Council again. Needs more Cecil, says Lama Gigante. Yeah, I might invite some guys in here. I just want to talk to you guys for a little while. Hugh Jazz, thanks for $2, says, glad to have you back, Nuncle. Thank you. It's good to be here. All right, let's see. Let's see what the chat is saying here. River Rat says Alterna. Yeah, Alterna. I did a nice video about them. I'm interested in their success in 2019. I'm going to kind of be watching them, but the question is Alterna ComicsGate? And the answer is no. And that I don't think they are ComicsGate. I think they're just I think they're just trying to appeal to a wide demographic of customer, like everybody should. And for that, they get, I think they're taking some abuse. Peter Simeti just seems like a super good guy. Anybody who spent any time listening to Peter Simeti on his live streams or read the way that he interacts with people on Twitter knows for a fact that he is a fantastic human being. All right, I'm going to send this out to Twitter, let people know. I don't live stream very often, so when I do, I think it's a good idea. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers live stream for 24 hours straight? I was like, what are you doing? You live stream for 24 hours straight. Why would you do that? And he's just like, because I can. Because I can. Ian Howe, $1.99 says, did you make any resolutions? Yes, I did. I did make some resolutions this year. Resolution number one is the same one that everybody makes, to get in shape, to watch what I eat, to keep a careful chart of the food that I consume, rather than just thoughtlessly eating whatever I want whenever I want. And we'll see what happens. It's not like I'm going to set a goal for that at all. It's a matter of personal discipline. And Andrea is involved as well, and I think she's trying the keto diet. I'm not trying the keto diet. I'm just watching calories. The other resolution that I made is to have fun this year, and always have fun, and always just smile and be happy, because life is too good. I mean, there's no reason to get bogged down in some of the nonsense that goes on in this business. All there is to do is just have fun. I have a big audience. I've got all the subs. You guys are terrific. I've got a nice fan base, nice healthy fan base. We're doing big things this year. My goal is to get back to doing 1 page per day. That's something I told Andrea today. I said, I think after leaving DC, I kind of got a little bit lax, a little bit loose. But we're going to go back to 1 page per day, and I'm going to need to do that in order to get Rainbow Brute out this year, and then also get Wrecked Planet out this year. So becoming a more timely artist is important, and that means managing my time a little bit better. That means quick videos. The two priorities in my work life are my comic book first, and my YouTube channel second, and both are important. Both are very, very important. So those are my resolutions, and to build this channel, to grow ComicsGate to make one of the big ones, and I mentioned this on Twitter, is to really put also some more effort into helping indie creators grow and find an audience and succeed. And I'm in a position to do that. I know I'm in a position to do that, and I mean to do that this year. I mean to dedicate my some of my energy into finding, the next Kanan White, Antonio Bryce, Nasser Rabadi, and so many others, and just kind of lift them out and give them an identity that everybody knows, and hopefully help them to succeed. So a lot of resolutions, actually. Roro Nut Cream Pie, thanks for $5. What is your favorite type of cream pie? Mine is coconut cream pie. My favorite type of cream pie would be lemon meringue at this point, but I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, I'm avoiding pie. I had enough. I spent most of last year eating pies. I'm okay giving up pie. Hector Lopez, thanks for $5. Hey, EVS, I think your boy changed his name because he's over the SJWs and ComicsGate drama and just wants to focus on the comic medium. All right, so let's talk about that, because that's the big news today. That is the shocking news. By the way, Cormoran, thanks for $2. Keto diet sounds like a funky cancer treatment. Yeah, it kind of does. It turns me off for that reason. I don't want to follow a diet. It's just watch just watch your calories. You can use an app, to monitor your calories, but exercise, watch what you eat. All right, so today I got a notification about a new video the Diversity in Comics put up, and I went over to Diversity in Comics and was shocked to find that his page looked utterly unfamiliar. He has a new name. He decided to call himself. Oh my God. Oh, it's all right. I'll be honest about this. I'm going to be honest about it. I hate this. I'm not happy about it, and I told him this. So I'm not. This is not a great idea. It's not a great idea to rebrand yourself. You've put all of this time and energy into diversity and comics. It's a cool as hell name. I love Diversity in Comics. It's a cool name, and people call you Diversity in Comics. What do you want people to call you? Think About Comics now? I don't like this idea. I don't like it. I respect Zach. The thing about Zach is that he's going to do exactly what he wants to do. But I want to make sure, as his friend, that when he does something, he's doing it because it's something that he wants to do and not something that he feels compelled to do or anything like that. If his whole thing is, look, I'm going to focus more of my energy on being, a voice in comics that discusses. And he told me this. He said, I want to talk more about the history of comics. And I just said, oh, my God. All right. We've got 150,000 people who can discuss the history of comics. You understand? Comics are going to be history, if not for voices like yours doing what you do. Some weirdo girl said to me, a lot of people say things that are just intended just to hurt my feelings. It's like I'm going to post something that's deliberately meant to hurt your feelings. It serves no other purpose. It's not constructive criticism. I just want to take a shot at you. And this woman said, I'm a comics historian, and I promise you, you'll be forgotten when the history books are written about comics. I was like, you don't understand. Like, first of all, no, of course not. I'm going to be a legend in comics history if there is a comics history, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's obviously, I have staked a claim in many different respects as to comics history, and I will continue to. But second of all, comics isn't going to exist anymore. In which case, any history written about comic books is going to be not read by anyone. Nobody is really going to be interested in reading about the history of a medium that has gone defunct. That has gone extinct, that doesn't exist anymore, that doesn't interest the next generation. Unless we can keep comic books vital and relevant, and fun and exciting, then nobody cares about a comics historian and what they have to say. Nobody really cares. I mean, it's just not going to be interesting. It's not going to be something that people are going to participate in. Someday they're going to look back on it, as my God, you're going to be forgotten in the history of what is the what am I thinking of? Before Hollywood, show business that was on stage. What was it called? I can't remember. Doing a lot of juggling acts on stage to entertain peanut brain cowboys. That kind of stuff is not vaudeville. Thank you, vaudeville. You are going to be forgotten in the history of vaudeville. It doesn't matter. Vaudeville went extinct for a reason. People stopped caring and better things came along. And I don't know if it was because of any infighting or anything like that. It's just not relevant anymore. Is it historical? Yeah, but I mean, the only reason you can think to name any vaudevillians these days at all is because they translated their acts onto radio and then onto movies. That's and then hopefully onto television. People who actually survive actually outlast, outlive, and progress beyond a dying medium that they initially started in. Vaudeville went extinct. And so somebody like Milton Berle or somebody like that went on to radio. And then for Charlie Chaplin, vaudeville, straight on to Hollywood movies. It's like you have to do that. It's like his career on the stage just doesn't mean anything anymore. And I fear that's where comics are going, and they will go that way if it isn't for bright young voices like diversity in comics. I actually told I got lectured by DC Comics at one point, like about my association with Zach. They said, you're associated with this diversity in comics guy, and I was like, he is the most important voice in comic books right now, whether you realize it or not right now, whether you realize it at this moment or not, you will realize it one day. It's like he is the most important voice in comics. So yeah, I'm proud to associate with him. I think he's great. So what is he doing? What's he doing? So he changed his name to Think in all caps about comics. And I have no doubt that he stayed up nights thinking about this idea. Think about Zach. But I also don't like the idea of him leaving. I criticized him about leaving Twitter. I thought that was a mistake. Even though I think it was good for his mental health, Zach has always been a dog with a bone. Like he can't let go of fights. He can't just say, I'm not going to, even though what this person said is stupid, I don't have to fight with them. Even though they're wrong, even though I don't have to, I can just move on with my day. He can't do that. He's going to fight. He's going to pick a fight and fight and fight and fight until I don't know what, until he goes to sleep. So that's who he is, and that's what he does. And I think, he feels like leaving Twitter was good for his, well-being, his mental well-being. And I think maybe he feels like the same thing. I suspect that he thinks if he abandons his brand, which might have been tarnished by the media, then somehow that will give him more peace of mind and more ability to change into something that is going to be less the target of media scrutiny and focus. And he's so wrong. He's so wrong. He and I and others in ComicsGate have been given a blessing by you guys. We've been given a blessing by a multitude of fans. I have more fans and more people looking to purchase my work now than I ever did before. People who are out there specifically to buy work because I drew it, not because it's Green Lantern or it's Batman or it's Superman, and they were going to buy it anyway. But people who are actually following my career and who are asking me, "Where is Cyberfrog? Where's Rainbow Brute? What are you going to do after that? Where's Fearsome? Whatever happened to American manga?" I mean, it's a blessing. But not only that, but for some reason, this generation of comic book creators who are on the right were actually chosen to by just, I don't know, chosen by fate to speak up and speak out against what's happening in comics right now. He is a political person now. So am I. And what is our, what are we preaching? What are we talking about? We're political voices that are actually fighting politics. just as a whole, like fighting radicalism in comics, fighting this invasion of left wingers who want to just radicalize everything. They want to take over, and they want to basically make these male dominated male hobbies into something that nobody really wants anymore. And they sound like they have good ideas. They sound like they have good reasons, but at the end of the day, their ideas hollow out. They hollow out these wonderful hobbies and leave them kind of bankrupt. So he's got an opportunity to just accept the fact that he is a political figure. He's always going to be the focus of media scrutiny. He's always going to be hated by 50% or more. Who knows? We don't know how big ComicsGate is. It's hard to tell. But he's always going to be hated by this percentage, and so am I, of the comic buying audience. But we are going to be beloved by everyone else. I think that's a pretty good deal. I think it's a really, really good deal. I'm very happy to be in this spot. I'm so happy to be in this spot. And yeah, it sucks. Getting these people who stalk and harass, man, sometimes it does just feel, it weighs on you kind of heavily. I talked about how ComicsGate feels like an old dirty coat that you're dragging around that's weighing you down. I talked about that, just that, everything that comes along with it. But I still believe in the principles. I still believe in everything that we've been saying. I believe in what he has to say. I know you guys do. I believe in good customer service. I believe in treating customers with respect. And I believe in producing work that's fun and absent of ideology. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I was closing my eyes and talking, and I was not paying attention to you guys. Let me look at the super chats first and catch up, and then we will find out what you guys think of all this, because this is definitely my concern. Let me see. How do I do this? Edit. All right, there it is. Live control room. I don't. It's like I used to do this every single day, and I was really, really slick at doing live streams. Now I'm like, wait, how do I do this again? Yeah, no, sometimes when I talk, I close my eyes. When I'm trying to find the words that I want, I'll close my eyes. And it's also a good reason, other than the obvious, to keep my face off of camera when I'm making videos. Often when I'm just extemporizing, I will close my eyes and just gesticulate with my hands, and it would look really, really weird. So it's better just to hear my voice. All right, so yeah, Hector Lopez says, I think he's over the SJWs and ComicsGate drama and wants to focus on the comic medium. He didn't say that. I said, you know what I said to him? I said, are you abandoning the culture war? He said, no, I'm just attacking it from a different angle. I said, all right. Mellow E, thanks for $5. To a happy, healthy, and successful 2019 to you and all. Tico 2020. No, Tico 2019. We're getting more Tico at the end of this year, and that's why 2019 is inevitably going to go out with a bang. I'm very excited about Roast Tico and Star Wars Episode 9. Oh my God. Also, let me catch up the chat. Also, what's going on? What the hell? This year, I had to remind Andrea about this. This year is going to be like the Republican debates. Election 2020 starts this year. It's going to start probably around June. Elizabeth Warren just announced that she's launched an investigative committee to see if she should run for president. And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. We'll talk about that in a second. Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to... Sean Egan, thanks for $10. Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to Cyberfrog. Almost 90,000 subs. We have a lot of fake publicity stunts look forward to by Lucasfilm to try to drag Plan 9 across the finish line. Won't work. Well, okay, I haven't made up my mind yet. I will say this. As I look at Lucasfilm's docket for 2019, I must confess, I'm kind of excited. Did you see the new Darth Vader virtual reality game? Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? That looks great. That looks really, really great. I don't care at all about Cassian Andor, the TV show. Don't care. Kind of care about The Mandalorian because I like, it's going to have the bounty hunters in it, I think. And not only that, but what's his name? Jon Favreau. He's good. I mean, he really is good. So, it's going to be worth it. I will I will subscribe to Disney's streaming service just to be able to watch those shows and review them for you. So that's going to be good. Honestly, as I look at what Disney has lined up for Star Wars this year, I'm thinking if this stuff is all good, they're going to redeem themselves. And by the way, I don't see Kathleen Kennedy anywhere talking about any of this, which kind of somewhat confirms what I believe happened. I believe they just could not. They realized they could not and should not publicly fire Kathleen Kennedy. It would be bad PR for them, and so they've just kept her around on the payroll. Kind of like almost, just to, I don't know, figurehead we never see her head, a figurehead who's in hiding. That's kind of Kathleen Kennedy right now. Hold on, let me lift my chair up. So it seems like maybe they've got things under control, but you know, I can't. I will always give Star Wars more chances. I know that you guys often say, I quit. I quit Star Wars. Star Wars is dead. Yeah, Star Wars does feel dead right now, but it could be resurrected. It could be. Just do good movies. Just kick the SJWs out and do good movies, and then it'll be fine. We'll all go see them. And I know there's some controversy about Rogue One, but I liked Rogue One. I only watched it once, but I really did feel like I was watching a real Star Wars movie, and it was fun. It was fun. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful about 9. Typo Comics, thanks for $20. We have 15 days left for our IndieGoGo campaign for Bad Sushi Canon, and we have a ways to go to reach our goal. Help us make our dream of putting our indie series into a trade paperback to share with the world come true. Yeah, Bad Sushi Canon spelled Cannon on IndieGoGo. Guys, check it out. Cormoran, thanks for $2. Comics Historian, ha 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 ha. You already win. I know. Like, well, I mean, we already have a bunch of comics historians, and frankly, 2 or 3 of them is enough. We don't need 50 of them. And when you're talking about what's going on right now, and you're talking about writing the history of what's going on right now, I don't think anybody's interested. I really don't. Roro Nut, thanks for $5. Think about comics. I'd rather think about coconut cream pies. I'm not arguing. Mark C. Cary Grant came out of vaudeville. Exactly. Lost Jedi, Happy New Year. Uncle Fred's Ghoul School on Twitter, you mean a lot to me. Lost Jedi, thank you so much. Uncle Fred, I really appreciate you. And you mean a lot to me too. And, I'm grateful that you're out there. The Buzz CJC, thanks for $5. QSJW's gloating and bragging about Zach now. Well, they did. I hated to have to tell him this. But, I mean, I did. I told him this because I feel like, I don't know, man. I said, what they're saying is they're saying that they turned your channel into Reading Rainbow. It's like if you're just going to sit around and review comics and you're not going to comment on the culture, you are a comic book reviewer. And you're supposed to be way more than that. You're just supposed to be way more than that. You're supposed to talk about you're supposed to talk about what's going on in the industry. And, I have to say, I know that he's sad that he got involved in all those Twitter spats, and he feels like it was a waste of time. It made him who he was. I don't think it was a waste of his time at all. I think standing up to SJWs, standing up to these NPCs on Twitter is vital. I'm going to do it. I'm never going to stop doing it, and I'm not going to obsessively do it. But as I sit here drawing, every hour or so, I kind of hit refresh on my Twitter, and if I see something egregious, I'm going to go in there and dunk on a stupid SJW. It's important. It's important to not let these people gain momentum, and to not let them build up. You have to humiliate them whenever you can. You just have to. And he did a good job at it. The fact that he thinks he wasted his time. I don't know. I guess I don't think I don't. If there was a comic historian, I wish a comic historian who was actually fair and accurate would show him who he actually is in comics. I try to tell him who he is, but I don't know if he listens. He needs some perspective as to who he actually is. He's the Jordan Peterson of comics. I think that's safe to say. What would happen if Jordan Peterson just said, you know what, like, uh, I wasted my time arguing about pronouns and with these crazy authoritarian SJWs. I wasted my time doing all these lectures and tours and arguing with these people and getting into fights and making Twitter videos. And instead, what I really need to do is just get back to teaching. If I just get back to teaching, I can. Listen, Jordan Peterson has a way bigger impact doing what he's doing by getting into public arguments with people and showing exactly the flaws and in the whole left wing matrix. I mean, actually exposing it and showing these people for who they are, and maybe changing their minds, but changing other people's minds as well. That's important. That's a way better use of his time and energy than just simply teaching. And Zach should be doing the same thing. I don't know why he's not writing a book. And why wouldn't he write a book? Why wouldn't he write a book about ComicsGate? That would be excellent. A ComicsGate book. Yeah. Aria says, isn't this a conversation you should have privately with Zach? I already did. But I'm having it again, aloud, because I need to work out my thoughts. About what he's doing. Because I'm not going to, I'm not going to change. I don't agree. I don't agree that we need to change. I don't agree that we need to alter our focus. I don't think so. I'm not. Again, that's just how I feel right now. Let me give it some more time. All right. Jackson. August Shepard says, "Hail Caesar in 2019. This is our year." Well, yeah, 2019 is going to be really, really great. Mark C says, Uncle E, what do you think happens to Marvel after their building lease ends this year? Man, that's a great question. I'm not aware for a fact that their building lease ends this year. This is just something that I have been told by other people. So let's assume that that's true. Well, one of two things is going to happen. And Marvel has been known to move around Manhattan. They've had 3 different locations since I've been working in comics. And so it wouldn't be unusual for them to just simply find a new building in Manhattan and stay in New York. But I can picture them doing what the rumor suggests that they're going to do, which is to pack up and move out west. I can see that. I can picture them moving, into Disney, and tightening the ship. They're not making any money. They're just not making any money. So the only thing that does make money, obviously, and it makes buckets of money, is their characters in every other media. So yeah, look, it's very, very possible. We will see what happens. August Shepard says, Hail Caesar. Oh, I read that one. Jackson Rodling, thanks for $10. Happy New Year, Ethan. Has anyone ever told you that you sound like a flaming version of Jonathan LaJoie? I don't know who that is, but I guess a gay version of that. That wasn't meant to insult you, just how you sound like. Always love your content. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll look at that. I'll look that up and see if I sound like a gay version of that guy. Axie, thanks for $2. ComicsGate equals reliable branding to us customers or consumers. Yeah, I hope so. I'm worried. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let me get through the super chats. One Hominid, thanks for $9.99. Seriously, is it George Mikan and Emily, or George Mike and Emily? Oh yeah, Happy New Year. It's George, Mike, and Emily. 3 different people. Jonathan Hurst. Any news on your Jabba the Hutt toy? No news. I'm waiting. They said it's going to be here in January, but I'm prepared to wait. I'm looking forward to getting him. I've got, I don't know if I showed you this. I got the Han Solo Frozen in Carbonite sideshow for Christmas. That was one of my big gifts from Andrea, and it lights up and everything. It's really, really cool. So I really need my Jabba the Hutt now. And I'm thinking about getting a C-3PO as well to stand behind Jabba the Hutt. They don't have a bib for Tuna, I don't think. But yeah, I want the whole Jabba's palace. That's what I want. And yeah, I wish they would make Rose Tico. I wish they would. James Dean, creator of Conflict, thanks for $20. This is the last night for the Conflict Clause Out store on IndieGoGo. Thank you to everyone who backed the project for a successful campaign and for helping me start Varsity Comics in a big way. Is your company called Varsity Comics? That's rad. Happy 2019. Same to you. Let's make it a good year, guys. Let's make it a really good year because we can do it. We can absolutely do it. Chris W says Zach can never be the same as comics historian or anything like that. He's going to do his own thing, but I agree that a rebranding is not necessary. Look, he always he always makes his own choices. They're not always good. I told him not to go on TV. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, all right. Donuts one, thanks for $10. Uncle Nathan, I think I permanently lost my appetite watching you and your neighbors paw through those hoagie buns like 6-foot hairless raccoons. I'll probably lose 30 pounds this year, so thanks. Oh, you mean on my grocery live stream? Yeah. Think about that. Like, what if people sneezed around those? You wouldn't know. I mean, you couldn't be sure of that. And by the way, I feel like I have a little flu, like coming on, a little cold. You can feel that, that initial kind of achiness that you feel. I feel that coming on. I hope it's not H1N1. Who knows? I got my flu shot, but that might have even brought it on even harder. Ian House says, I may be the only one who owns the Hot Toys Jyn Erso. Yeah, no interest in Jyn Erso. What a bland, flat character. I mean, no interest in her at all. K Brady for $4.99 says, I think it's okay that he changed the name. Lots of channels have. Internet Aristocrat for one. Yeah, he did, and he that's not untrue. But he nuked his channel when he did it. He started over again. He started over. I've been toying with the idea of changing my channel name to the Fandom Menace for the longest time. But I've decided, because I mean, Fandom Menace is probably what my channel should be called. But I don't do it, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me look at the chat. What do you guys think of changing my channel name to Fandom Menace? I mean, no. Yeah. Never get a flu shot. Oh, I did. I was at CVS. They gave it to me. Some people are saying, do it. Do it. But yes, I like your name. No. Don't do it. Yeah, it's about 80% for leave it alone and then 20% for yes, do it. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The thing about it is that Comic Artist Pro Secrets was the name that I came up with when I was talking to Diversity in Comics and everybody about doing this channel, about starting the channel. And I remember he said, that's a great name. And then a couple of other people, I think the Quartering said, that's a terrible name. But I really liked the name. I thought it implied mystery. I thought it implied that I was going to teach you some things that you didn't know before. And since then, it's just become... it is. It's my name almost. I'm Comic Artist Pro Secrets. So yeah, I kind of like it, and I'm going to keep it. People do say, "Where's the comic book content?" It's like, well, it doesn't necessarily imply that there's comic book content. It just suggests that I'm a comic book artist and I have secrets for you, not necessarily involving comics. But no, I'm going to keep it as Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I like it the way it is. Yeah, maybe one day I'll make a Fandom Menace channel, but right now the Fandom Menace is, I consider the Fandom Menace to be my Star Wars subscribers, people who like or agree with my Star Wars opinions. I think those, that's who the Fandom Menace is. Yeah, Mellow E says, Ethan, please tell Mrs. Van Sciver some stranger from Oklahoma says Happy New Year. Tico 2019 till eternity. Heck yeah. I will. She's probably listening. So hi, Andrea. Mellow E says Happy New Year. Roro Nut Cream Pie says you should start coconut cream pie live streams. Double your sub count immediately. Do you think so? I don't know. I don't know if it would happen. Well, maybe it would. People might want to watch pies. MW77 says if episode 9 bombs, will KK out? Almost. I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't think it's going to be her fault if it bombs. I really don't think she's doing much. I don't think she's doing very much. Michael Johnson Curry says, started my campaign for Zane and the Diesel Crew. Would love to know what you think. All right. Well, Michael Johnson Curry, we've spoken. I will have you on, and I've got to get you on and a couple other people. Angel Cruz, here's for the comic community. Thank you for $4. Proper Jeremy says, I'm kind of envious I wasn't on Jeremy's live stream when Rookie Critic and Sith Kryptonian were on. Rain check for April, somewhere in Chicago. I'll be outside the main event, but I'll buy you pie or beer. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be there. I got a 5-day ticket, but I think I'm going to miss some of it because I can't be away for 5 days. It's too much. I got work to do, but I will definitely be there. And when I'm there, I will we'll discuss where to meet up. Avataz. Oh, by the way, and I've had like security guys say shush about where you're going to be. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting. Like I keep forgetting who I am at this point. Public Enemy number 2 for ComicsGate. Avataz, thanks for $2. Happy New Year's, folks. Stay safe and prosperous. Absolutely. Nasser's smelly stick of butter says, it's 2019 and Nasser still hasn't eaten me yet. Fix this now. Pocket Jacks Comics said, would love to come on and promote Guinevere and Divinity Factory. Okay. Adrian Stone says, change your name to Diversity in Comics, EBS. Yeah, maybe I'll steal that name now. Donut Swan says, bro, you don't get the flu shot. Even Shill CBS says it's only effective in like 3% of cases, and all drug inserts say may cause flu-like symptoms. Well, yeah, but I got it a long time ago. I got it like 2 months ago. Johnny Torch says, Uncle E, can you plug my comic, The Adventures of Bullets, Bourbon, Private Eye? Thanks and Happy New Year. Yeah, go check out Johnny Torch's The Adventures of Bullets, Bourbon, Private Eye. Captain Salty says Pie Eater Pro Secrets is a better channel name. Yeah, but it would be a lie because I'm not going to eat any more pie. I promise you, there will be no more pie. It'd be crazy. Yeah, the flu shot. Encore Baby says, when does that Captain Whammon movie come out? Captain Marvel comes out March 8th, and I'm going to see it. Now, I think I know you guys are saying I'm lying about the pies. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to avoid pie. I am going to avoid pie for a little while. I got to lose some weight. I've got to lose weight. I'm too fat. All right, so March 8th is when Captain Marvel comes out. It is going to be followed swiftly in April by the MCU's Avengers Endgame. So you're going to get 2 big Marvel movies 6 weeks apart. Now, I think Captain Marvel is one of the worst characters. I really don't like Captain Marvel. I don't like Captain Marvel. And very few things are going to make me change my mind. Certainly, Brie Larson is not going to be the thing that changes my mind. Brie Larson sucks. I mean, she's an awful, terrible human being. She's a terrible human being. She gets up there and talks about white males. Get out of here. God, get out of here. So tired of being denigrated for the color of my skin. Nobody knows what that's like. Just kidding. But seriously, everything's white males. You're a white male. You're useless and worthless. You're a white male, so you need to get out of here. I'm sick of it. I'm just tired of it. I don't want to think of myself like that. But it's really, really annoying. It's annoying. Yeah, she's a terrible human being, and she needs to not be in movies. And not only that, she's not pretty. She's just not pretty. If she were lovely, a gorgeous woman who looks like a superheroine, I don't know. I might have a different opinion, but she's got a shitty attitude and she's an ugly woman. So ugly, not ugly, just plain, by the standards of, I don't know, almost anyone else that's in the movie, she's very plain. So, yeah, I'm not crazy about it. And so, but having said that, though, I've made 2 or 3 videos about Captain Marvel. People like them. I always follow my algorithms. If I make a video and my algorithms say that people really enjoyed it, like it got a lot of thumbs up and a lot of views, I'm going to make another one eventually. It might not be right away, but of course, people want to hear me talk about Captain Marvel. Let's talk about Captain Marvel. That's how YouTube works. I've made a couple. Now, I've gotten some reaction from some people. One person in particular sent me a message, an email that just said, "Hey, somebody who I know works for the MCU has seen a rough cut of Captain Marvel, and it's amazing." And I was like, "Ugh." I don't want to live in a world where Captain Marvel is amazing. I don't want to. Oh my God, Tamara, is that you? Or is it Tanya? Tanya says, "Bread, Lars sucks. Emotions are as flat as her body." Yeah, it's just, Anthony Scott says, "Change the name to Diversity in Star Wars." That would be funny too. Absolutely. Yeah. Margaret Merkel says, "Really? Like, really what?" Yeah, I don't want it to be good. If it's good, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I am gonna go see it, and I'm gonna be like, "That was a good movie." I really don't want it to be good because, I really, really do not like Brie Larson, and I don't like Captain Marvel. I don't like it. Jude Law may elevate it, says, Hekaba. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Margaret Merkel says, "And I have a bridge to sell you." Okay, so she doesn't believe that it's good. Well, somebody told me that it was really, really, really good. So, you know, I mean, look, when I first saw Aquaman, and when I say Aquaman, I mean like last Christmas when we were talking about Aquaman, I said, no way is that movie going to be good because I saw Justice League and Aquaman was horrible in Justice League. So is he going to be good in his own movie? No way, no way. Turns out, yeah, he's good in Aquaman. Aquaman's a great movie. So you never really know. You never know. Dean May says, "I'm an ICU nurse, and even I don't have the flu shot. Thank you for everything you do, sir." Well, thank you for everything you do. Why did I get a flu shot? Why did I feel like I needed to do? Why? Why did I feel I get pressured into things? I go to CVS to go pick up my asthma inhaler, and they say, "Do you want your flu shot?" And I go, "Well, how much is it?" And they go, "It's free." And I go, "Well, all right." It's like the question, like, I'm gonna stab you with something and inject a chemical into you. Well, how much is that gonna cost me? Because I don't really want to do it. Well, it's free. Oh, so you're gonna stab me and inject me for free. Okay, well, I guess, if you were gonna charge me to hurt me and I don't know, probably make me sick in January, then no chance. But if it's free, why not? John Dillard Gaming the System says, "I like your videos, Ethan. Do them for me." I will, John. I will from here on forward. And Vector 7 Comics says, "Happy New Year, EVS. Can I come on the show sometime to talk about my upcoming project, Aegis Inc.?" Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have to regroup. Here's the fact. Like I don't feel great about doing too many live streams right now. I'm very, very busy. And when I do live streams, I want to connect with the fans. But this year is going to be as soon as Cyberfrog is done and out and Rainbow Brute is running, it is going to be a chance to introduce and promote a lot of other ComicsGate projects. I will be choosy about them. I'm going to have to look at them and make sure that they kind of meet the standards that I have. And that makes me a gatekeeper. I don't like any of this, by the way. I hate this whole argument. But yeah, if you're going to come on my channel and I'm going to promote your book, I have to make sure it's good enough for me to actually enthuse about it, honestly. Uh, so yeah. And then people will say, he's gatekeeping us again. Ugh. We'll relive 2018. One hominid says George Mikan is the size of two people, and key lime pie is way better than lemon, my French word pie. Key lime is better than no, I don't think it is. Key lime's good, but it's not. It's not better than lemon meringue at all. Captain Salty says, "Where is Cyberfrog? And also, where's the Kickstarter for Rainbow Brute?" You mean the IndieGoGo for Rainbow Brute? Cyberfrog is coming along. It's coming along. It's gonna be a while. You guys are gonna have to be patient. Even when it's finished, it needs to finish the colors. It needs to get the lettering, and the coloring should be pretty quick. Because Kyle's coloring it right on top of when I give him pages. And then it's got to go to print. So it's gonna be a while, guys. But I'm cracking on it. Yeah. Real Comic Stack says he doubled his subs in November and December thanks to uh, my friends in the channel that subbed. Yeah, good, man. I'm watching. I'm watching some of these guys. The quartering is just into 300,000 something subscribers right now. Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers, he hit 100,000. He was working when I was doing live streams. Like, he was really working his channel, and he got his channel like 10,000 ahead of mine. But once you get 100,000, you slip on a banana peel towards sub growth. They start to promote your videos more. I'm like, I gotta get to 100,000. I gotta get there. Hey, Edwin Boyette. All right. So with that being said, Red Knuckles says, let me just read the rest. Proper Jeremy says, if you're outside the main event and Jeremy tells me, I'll keep it on the down low per usual. P.S. I'll gladly take your tickets for days you won't make it. Okay. Red Knuckles says, flu shot was 40% effective in the past 3 years. CDC. All right. So that's, 40% is pretty good. Is it not? I mean, I get the flu. I get sick in January and I get sick in April. Every year I get sick in those months. I get a cold or something like that. And I really don't look forward to it. So I was hoping that maybe this would fix that. All right, let me put this link out. We'll see if anybody wants to come in here and join us. I don't know what everybody's doing tonight. It's New Year's Day. New Year's Day is not a holiday. It's not a holiday. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, Umbrella Guy is sending me some stuff here about Dave Sim. We'll talk about that a little bit, I guess. Yeah, the thing about the SJWs is they're all looking to trap me in some way, but they blow their wad too soon. Like, somebody found this really strange message that Dave Sim, who is the creator of Cerebus, who reached out to me to ask if he could be a part of ComicsGate somehow. Really strange message where he talks about a girl, a very young woman, that he met when she was a kid, and he waited for her to grow up to be 21, and then he slept with her. I don't know when this happened. I don't know how old he is, how old he was when this happened at all. I don't really know. But it certainly does read like, it's kind of gross. I'm not into the, I'm really not into the younger. I don't know. It depends on how old he is. When he talks about waiting to sleep with her until she's 21, watching someone from age 14 to 21, it's a little odd. Did you guys see this?
Yeah. Are you sure it was him?
No, I'm not sure. It's Moment of Cerebus, blogspot.com. Taking this at face value. Yeah, it's what you might call grooming. But here's the thing: if any of this is even true, why are they're doing me a favor by letting me know?
Right.
Why wouldn't they wait until we were already working together and then the book comes out and then hit me with it? You know what I mean?
Right. These people cannot think.
It is it's really dumb. Hey, Sweet Cast, hey Kyung, hey Nasser, welcome to Comic Arts Pro Secrets. How are you?
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you here. Yeah, so all right, so we can look at this. It's so dumb, but I guess the thing about it is that I'm not affixed to any one thing, and this doesn't really, does this matter to me? I'm not sure. All right, hold on, let me see. And we'll talk about it, because sometimes I'm not even sure how I feel about things. Sometimes I need a Sweet Cast to help me. I do. It's like you're a very wise young man. Umbrella Guy's here. Hey, Tug, how you doing?
Hey, man, pretty good. How you doing?
Good. So we're going to talk about the thing you sent me. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'll be great, actually.
Okay, good. Let's hear this. All right. So I don't think I can blow it up anymore. I hope you get. Let me just read this. Yeah, I'm going to talk to Dave Sim about it. But all right. So this is something from his blog, A Moment of Cerebus. And it just doesn't. What do you think of this, Tug?
I have never looked into Dave Sims like this way. I know he's had controversy. I know he's been called a misogynist about 1 million times. I know that people would definitely love to take him down. So I really want to know more about it beforehand, Yeah,
he's already down. The thing about Dave Sim is that they've thoroughly taken him down. He is, first of all, whatever you say about him, and his, whatever you say about Dave Sim, even if you don't agree with what he believes or anything like that, he is a genius as a writer. There's just no doubt about the fact that he is a genius. So that's to start with. And I always kind of look back on, I wonder what the private lives of some of our most famous and respected writers, not just in comics, especially not in comics, but just authors of literature that stood the test of time. Like, what were they like? I'm sure they were a little bit kooky, because every comic book pro I've ever spoken to is a little bit kooky. So that having been said, yeah, they're all nuts. So here's something that somebody is sending, or they're circulating around Twitter right now, and this is meant to do what? I don't know. Okay, Dave Sims says, and let me just preface this by saying, I don't know. I don't know if this is the real Dave Sim. I don't know anything about this at all. This just appeared. Okay, says, glad you like. Travis, I'm glad you liked the mouth, because that's what I was trying to capture. And then redacted was the underage one, 14, when I met her at a convention, wanting her Cerebus collection signed. It was a very hard lesson in what happens when romance and lust and protectiveness, because she was a child. Dave, a child. You protect children. You don't hustle them. Dave, I think in parentheses, this is like somebody else yelling at him. Not his own inner voice. That's the impression that I got. Get rolled up together. I didn't have sex with her until she was 21, and we broke up 3 months after her 22nd birthday. So we dated her for a little while. The bottom one on the right, on the sketchy page, that was the closest I got to what her mouth looked like. She was tiny and physically perfect in my eyes. I was ready to move to England and live there when she got accepted to a school in London, along the lines of, I have the ass of a 20-year-old. Check. And then redacted, arrived at PH6 and informed me that a lesbian friend of hers had told her she had perfect breasts. I don't know what any of this means. Now, I don't know when this happened. Okay, that's the thing. If this happened when, like, recently, that would be very, very bad. If this happened when he was in his 20s, less bad. But I have no context for this. I have no context for it. I don't like it. What do you think, Tug?
I think like I need to know more, because the people that pulled it up, I did after I saw this, I started doing, precursory searches for every controversy I could find with Dave Sim, and I didn't run across anything like this. I figure with all of the calls for him being a misogynist and all, and I would think that I would be able to at least find one thing that threw him out there as a bad guy for this, but
yeah. Well, again, who knows where this came from? I don't really know, but again, I'm open to to knowing more.
Ethan,
yes,
Edwin just posted the link to it in the chat.
Oh, he did. Okay,
yeah.
So people can read it.
Yeah, he said it has the context there.
What is the context? Edwin, can you come in here? I think you have the link. It's in it's in the. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I'm sad. I'm sad about it. What can I tell you? I don't feel good about it at all. But I don't know. Here's the one thing though that just strikes me about this is that, first of all, these people are so obsessed with ComicsGate and what we're doing, so very, very, very obsessed. That they're thinking, I haven't, honestly, I'm so working on Blood Honey right now, I haven't given a thought to Dave Sim. I'm busy with the first book, and then after that comes Rainbow Brute. It's going to be a while before I even interact with Dave Sim in any real substantial way over Cyberfrog, because I'm busy. I've got 2 other things in the way right now. But these people are thinking about it, and obviously the idea of working with a rather big professional, renowned writer like Dave Sim worries them or bothers them in some significant way. But on the other hand, if you have something like this, just strategically, if you're coming to take out ComicsGate or hurt Cyberfrog or something like that, and you have some genuine piece of like damaging dirt like this, why would you give it to me now, you idiots? Why wouldn't you wait? Why would you give it to me now? Why honestly? You know what I'm saying?
They've proven to be quite impulsive, so I mean,
it's their response to Eric Esquivel is what it honestly this is. Instead of actually, what they're doing is they're playing the we protect people. They say, oh well, what about? This is a response with a what about. So it's a what about because of the Eric.
Because Eric Esquivel, and then well, Dave Sim. Is that what this is? I mean,
yeah, that's what it feels like here. Oh well, look, look, look who's in your camp, and it's like, has anybody ever like seen it? Like you said, you're like, I don't even know the explanation to this. I didn't know anything about it, just randomly saw it. And the first thing, like you pointed out, first thing was trying to find, where did this come from? Like, what is this about exactly? Is there any information about it? Not trying to, like those people with Esquivel, they tried to bury it. They tried to bury any of us that talked about it. We were all monsters because we happened to talk about a situation that's currently transpiring in the comic industry with somebody out there. And, they tried to bury us all with that. They still are doing it. Still.
That was really bizarre how they were like, how dare you talk about it? Are you serious?
Yeah. Edwin Boyette needs the link. Can somebody send Edwin Boyette the link to this chat? Is that possible, please?
Sure. I'll send it his way.
So I can stay focused, because you should see my face right now. Just kind of blank, just spaced. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Ava, do you know what we're talking about here? Did you hear this?
No, I missed that bit, so I was trying to gather some from the sentences, but I don't know what you guys just talked about.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, Dave Sim, the SJWs in comics, anti-ComicsGate. Let me back up a little bit further. So when Cyberfrog was running as a campaign and doing really, really well, somebody reached out to me on behalf of famous comic book writer Dave Sim. Now, Dave Sim wrote Cerebus. Like, seriously, he is in league with, like, he's on the same level as Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, Frank Miller. He is up there with those guys. He's a great writer. He was taken out of comics. He was whacked out of comics because he wrote an essay that basically, and I'm not even sure what the context of it was, but basically compared women to the void, to a void on men. Like, women are like a leech on men. And, that was enough for the comic book industry to turn its back on him. And so he has kind of been working outside of the comic book industry, still doing things, still active, but yeah, the comic book industry is not who he was in the in the 90s anymore. Okay, that's what these people do. They shun you. Obviously, they unperson you. They cancel you, and try to isolate you. So that's what they did to Dave Sim. So anyway, I've never really spoken to Dave Sim, but Dave Sim reached out to me, and when he heard about ComicsGate, and because he shares the same politics in many ways, in many respects, he's a conservative. He asked if he could be a part of what we're doing, and I said, well, I'll call you. And when I called him and I said, well, what do you want to do? He said he wanted to write Cyberfrog, which flabbergasted me. I was like, writing Cyberfrog? Why? I thought you'd want to do your own thing. Well, he's like, I'd like to use ComicsGate to also promote some Cerebus books, but mostly for new work, I'd like to do Cyberfrog with you. So I was intrigued by this and said, yeah, I think we could do that. I think we could probably work together on some level. Like, you could help me write Cyberfrog. So that's what we were planning to do for the next issue of Cyberfrog. But that's not until, November of next year. It's a long ways away. I've got to get Rainbow Brute done first. So in any case, yeah, Dave Sim is an interesting fellow. He's an intellectual. He's very bright. Apparently, somebody dug up something of him saying that. Should I show it again? It breaks my heart. I don't want to show it again.
Well, they present it out of context to paint a particular image.
Okay, help me, Edwin.
By the way, Happy New Year and aloha, brother.
Happy New Year to you. Who's making all that noise? Is that you?
That is not me. It sounds like somebody has joined us from an airplane.
That was the Comic Book Hut.
Okay, Comic Book Hut. You're making a lot of background noise, pal. Could you put on headphones or something, please? Yeah, unmute yourself when you do. Edwin, what do I need to know that's going to make me feel better or even worse? Just give me the truth here.
Okay, so the one part, it is his inner voice. It is absolutely, this is Dave Sim talking about it, and he says, this is his inner voice. And he says, yes, Dave, you protect children. You don't hustle them, right? So he's criticizing himself. And then you come down a comment on this link I posted here right? And so he says he didn't engage with the lady until she was an adult, right? And so you can ask him about that for clarity.
Does he let you know how old he was when this happened?
He says he met this girl at a convention, this teenager at a convention. I want to say back in the early 80s. I think he would have been about 30 something.
Early 80s. Okay.
Let's see. He says it somewhere. Because he mentions a specific convention. Let's see. And he's drawn a sketch of her. He puts the woman's name, and so he could probably the simplest way to clear it up, if he's still in contact with her, is that this young woman who would now be in her 40s could probably clear it all up. Let's see. Where did they meet? He says it in another place. Right. But here's what he says further down. And he's talking about flirting with women and stuff. He says, bottom line, I wasn't serious about them. It was always primarily about fornication, and that's wrong. A decision I made in 1998 and haven't wavered from since. I should have done them and me a favor and stayed away from them. Right? And so I don't get grooming from this. I don't know why the guy would share something that's particularly questionable. It doesn't seem like to be a faux pas because he's criticizing himself here. He makes it clear he didn't consummate anything or pursue anything until she was an adult. But beyond that, I would get a hold of Dave because he may still be in contact with this woman, and it could all be simply cleared up. Looking at the way it is presented, it looks designed to generate a false moral equivalence.
I do agree. Why is it cropped the way it is? By the way, somebody in the chat says, "Where's Yellow Flash? Did Ethan disavow him like the others?" Hey, let me explain something. I haven't disavowed anybody. I've disavowed nobody, and I never will. Not even Vox Day. I don't even think I've disavowed Vox Day. I just told him to get away from here. But I didn't disavow him, and I'm not disavowing Yellow Flash. I love Yellow Flash. He's got a channel and he's monetized. So it's hard to get guys who are actually monetized to come on the live stream. They want to do their own work. So Yellow Flash
is sick tonight.
Is he sick?
Yeah.
Yellow Flash is always invited. He shows up when he can, and I'm grateful for it. Tug is also monetized. I'm grateful for his time. Everybody here who has their own channel could be making their own money. I'm thankful that they're spending their time on my channel. Okay.
To clarify that, we're actually always invited. Like it's just making sure everybody's time zone fits together. Yellow Flash has a weird time that he keeps, but there's none of that. I like how people generate like this controversy that isn't. I've had people ask that, why, is Ethan like not talking to you or something?
Well, it's a mystery for them.
Yeah, Churros says, sound a little defensive, EVS. I do? Do I? No. No, I just want to make it clear. I think people start rumors and stuff, and you have to understand that like YouTube is a business. It's a side business for a lot of people, and if it isn't yet, it soon will be for a lot of the people who are in this chat. And so, we're all on good terms. I mean, I have a room, and I put the link out there. Yellow Flash is in it. Umbrella Guy's in it. I have 2 rooms actually, and everyone who's in it is invited when I put the link in, and whoever wants to show up can. So just there's a lot of love. There's not a lot of vindictiveness, spite, bile. Not really, right, Edwin? Or is there?
Within ComicsGate? No. People are just busy, and I feel bad sometimes because, like, when I come on streams, I like to talk, and I know sometimes that's hard when there's like 8 people because people aren't coming on to hear like middle-aged me talk about stuff when they've got all these exciting people.
No, they are here they're definitely here to listen to you. I know I am, because I mean, this is the thing. So we've got this story, it's meant, I don't know what it's meant to do. My instincts are one of two.
It's meant to harm you and meant to harm Dave Sim. And it's certainly not made to protect. Actually, it's certainly not made to protect the woman or protect some point. If you read the full context, let me say this again, and I don't He mentions the young woman's name. He qualifies it, right? And then Dave Sim criticizes himself. This is not an equivalence with Eric M. Esquivel, who denied it and then lawyered up.
Mhm.
This is a man telling you about an unfortunate choice he made, right? Who but then qualifies and says, it was unfortunate, but completely legal behavior, because he doesn't consummate until the woman is an adult. He lists her name, right? So it's all out there. He's not trying to hide anything, not trying to embarrass her. And then he criticizes his own behavior in saying this pursuing fleshly lust outside the context of a marriage or something else was a very bad decision I made. This is in no way, shape, or form is it equivalent with Eric M. Esquivel. This is people who want to be the joy slayers, the worm tongues, the misery merchants, once again trying to interject themselves, waste people's time, damage their reputation, harm their ability to earn a living, and make everyone confused, right?
I do agree.
Yeah, well, and further than that, there were actually 4 things that were posted. There was that clip that you have, and then there was a clip of you talking about, man, Dave Sims is, God tier comics writer. So they have you talking about Cyberfrog, talking about how comics better wake up. ComicsGate is here to stay. So they're shots. It's really, it has nothing to do with Dave Sim. It has everything
It's me.
Skyber.
Yeah.
Well, he is a god tier comic book writer. That doesn't change just because he could go out and shoot someone. He'd still be a god tier comic book writer. He's really good at what he does. So even whatever other things are going on here, and I don't know. The fact is he's written some great, terrific comic books. So somebody says, what if he waited till she was 26? Would that still be weird? And then somebody else says, did she even have a problem with their relationship? I mean, evidently not. They dated for a year. And the thing is, it's not like he waited until she was 18. He waited until she was 21. I feel, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge at all. I don't care.
I mean, we're talking about speculation. I'm not gonna make excuses for something I don't know about, and I'm not going to damn someone for a paragraph that I don't know about. I would much rather know the background to it. Like I said, I saw that being posted, being shared around, basically, just some more Dave Sim damning, and I thought, what is this? Like, what's the context of this? I'd never seen it. That's why instead of slapping it out on social media, trying to figure it out. And this is not the equivalency that Edwin talked about with Eric Esquivel. The other part of that is that you didn't have, like with this, it looks like Dave Sim talking about choices. You didn't have someone coming out saying, this dude victimized me. He is out there victimizing people currently, right now, right this day, which you had with that other situation. There's like I said, there's a lot of speculation and inference being added. NPCs love to burn people down. I think reporting things, I think talking about it, which you just talked about what was out there. You talked about what was being spread around, but the other part of it, making the inference to burn someone down. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
And this is not every single time one of these situations comes up. They're all unique in individual circumstances. And I got some crap for giving Eric Esquivel. I called them allegations. I still believe in due process. And so the thing in this situation, correct me if I'm wrong, but this isn't even an allegation. We have no idea what this is.
Right.
It could be a creative writing assignment for all we know. There are no allegations. So to compare the two is, it's ridiculous. They're just, I don't know if any kind of sexual misconduct or hint of it is equal. I guess in the eyes of anti-ComicsGate, then sure, but that's just not reality.
Well, they're calling it grooming. They're using the phrase grooming, and that is something. I wonder. I mean, that's a specific allegation.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Dave Sim is a great target for this stuff too, because he doesn't get on social media. right?
Right.
What disgusts me about these same people, though, is I was watching the conversations that came up around the Eric Esquivel thing, and grooming came up quite a bit. These people were talking about they know groomers that out there. They know victims, male and female victims, male and female victimizers. But of course, there's nothing ever added. There's no other context. So these people that are supposedly going to stand aloft and say, hey, look at this guy. Well, apparently they're protecting quite a few other people if you listen to their own stories.
Yeah. Grooming is like a new word, by the way. It's like, I mean, it's not a new word, but it's a new, like, kind of hip accusation. Like harassment is kind of a new word that everybody uses. It's an old word, but everybody talks about harassment now. That they didn't used to do that 10 years ago. Grooming is a new one. So grooming is the implication is that you find a young person and you sort of take them under your wing and sort of you let them grow up into someone that you are going to have sex with. It's an interesting.
It's like the
allegation.
manipulation technique, I guess.
Yeah. If you meet someone young and impressionable, and
Right.
If you guys ever have followed Jonathan Haidt at all, I don't know if anybody's familiar with him. He talks about this a lot. It's called concept creep. I did a video on it once. But when you can make a known word and sort of change the meaning or apply it differently. So, for example, violence, when they use that for microaggressions and they start saying, words are violence. So it's sort of migrates. So the same thing with harassment. If you're disagreeing with somebody and you can call that harassment, now you've shifted the goalpost, but it still has the same kind of weight. So if the same thing's happening with grooming means something very specific. But if they're trying to move, and again, I don't want to speak too much to this specific scenario because we don't have much to go off of. But I don't know. To me, I want to be very careful with words.
Meanwhile, on Twitter right now, you have this this infestation of people coming over from Tumblr, and they're bringing over what are called maps or no maps, and maps, minor attracted people. I'm going to drop a video on this tomorrow because it's so.
Oh, yeah.
I watched your live stream today. It's fucking disgusting.
I mean, you're talking about people they have AOA, age of attraction, in their profiles, and they have numbers like from 3 to 30.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's fucking gross.
They're called maps. Yeah.
Maps.
Huh.
And I mean, if they protect these folks, I mean, they stand up and they say these people, they're okay. It's just an attraction thing. Meanwhile, so yeah.
Dude, I went down the rabbit hole with that. It gets dark.
It does get dark. By the way, one day Nasser's going to come up and tell the story about how I've been grooming him.
I don't want to hear that story.
Oh, that won't be for a couple years.
Oh no.
So I don't know.
Well, hey, why don't you just when you have time this week, can you just reach out to Dave Sim and say, hey, Dave, can you clarify this for me and give me some context?
Yeah, I will.
And then just make a mature decision, because I mean, obviously, none of us support the sexual victimization of anyone, and particularly not underage people. And there's no moral equivocation about this. There's no moral ambiguity about it. It doesn't appear that it happened, but it would be good to hear Dave Sim weigh in on it and give everyone clarity.
I'm going to do that. I haven't talked to Dave in like 4 months. So, I'll check in on him and see what's up. But yeah, look, can I just say, I really hate these people.
Yes. Yeah, it's disgusting. This is worm tongue. This is worm tongue poison, trying to ruin something that's good on the first day of the new year. And they can take this mess and go back wherever they came from. We don't need these people, I don't argue with these people anymore because they can't give me not a single thing. Right? They don't make anything I love. They don't control anything. All they do is waste time and make things worse. For the most part, I've endeavored to ignore them for the past couple of months, and I think it's been a fantastic decision.
People are saying that Edwin looks weird in color. I agree. He needs to look like a noir character. He really does need to be in gray tones. It's upsetting people in the chat. Yeah, Edwin, you're 100% correct. Look, these people are worthless, but I do need to know who I'm working with. I will talk to them. I'll ask them about it, and I'll make a decision. It's not a decision that I need to make for many, many, many months anyway. And I mean, who knows? At this point, it's like, I'm really enjoying writing Cyberfrog anyway. So we will, we will see. But I can't send these people. And again, I just want to ask them, you idiots, why wouldn't you hang on to this? What, you just had to just bust that out there when it doesn't really mean that much. I mean, you could have held on to that card until Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet came out and then busted it out. I don't understand why they're like, I don't know, they hurt themselves. They're really bad at this. I thought they were better at this than that.
I don't think they are good with timing. I think they just put whatever they have out there for the moment when they get word of someone, and they just want it out there right away.
Yeah, it's something to talk about.
Well, it's also we're about to get. I mean, I get a little more conspiratorial in that too. We're about to get the end of the year numbers for the comic industry. So of course, let's not talk about where the comic industry is right now, boys and girls. Let's talk about anything else.
Misdirection.
Right.
Yeah. Tug, speaking of that, did you see those tweets from Comic-Con where they were making those ridiculous excuses for the industry?
Yeah. They did that at the beginning of the year too. They were saying, oh, well, March was a down month, but maybe it's because it snowed here. Maybe the conditions. I was like, that doesn't matter.
They were literally saying like, maybe it's the parking. I was like, parking? Like I was so confused. They said, why is everyone looking at the books? Look at other stuff. Like how about parking? I was like, who put this together? That was your one thought. You're like, comic sales are down because of parking.
Well, that's the kicker. I mean, really, when you get down to the crux of the matter, we have a 6% decline units shipped. So we're down 6% more off of a terrible year last year. A negative 10% physical shipped sales. And, you're looking at another one. So you're talking an additional, you're looking at 16% within that in your decline. They make a little more money because they've raised the pricing point to the highest price ever. I mean, that's alarming. When you have $10 comic books out there, it's alarming. Right. But we don't need to talk about that stuff. In fact, I'm told all the time, if I bring that up, that's not even a ComicsGate talking point. Yeah.
Right.
That's beautiful stuff.
I think it is. I think it's a pretty serious ComicsGate talking point. People do, we kind of depend on, your channels to keep us aware of what the industry's numbers look like and to make sense of them. A lot of people just look at these numbers and they don't know what they mean. So it is important to kind of understand. It's, consequences are going to come down. Whether they happen this year or next year, things are going to change. Things have to change. And when that change comes, there's going to be all kinds of, I don't know, there's going to be a lot of distractions.
Yeah. Well, I even think a lot of this is, I mean, you see people in positions of prominence, people in Marvel executive positions, empowering trolls to go after people because they don't want us talking about this stuff. I truly believe that is something that companies would do. In fact, they'll empower other companies to do it. There are companies out there you can pay to do this kind of stuff, to go out and attack people and to give you positive spin. I think that's probably what you look at with all of the 13 to 15 articles that will come out within a day to 2 days about the same thing. It's generating a false narrative that tries to tell everybody, hey, it's okay, don't panic. Meanwhile, if you look at the industry, you have two companies that are propped up by intellectual property. They make money off of movies and all, and that's going to dry up somewhere. But the company that doesn't do it, the one that does in-house, IDW, they lost $7 million, as in they didn't make any money. They reported negative $7 million for 9 months. They took on, if they continue at the way they are, they're only evaluated at $49 million, but they had to borrow $20 million. So they've basically lost half of their worth. It will take them, I forget, Edwin and I were talking about what it would cost just to break even on that. And it's something like 200-something thousand comics to basically pay for the interest alone that they'll be looking at after 2020. So this industry's a mess. And of course they don't want you talking about that.
Yeah, I think wasn't it Bleeding Cool that said Remphamus was the sin eater, right? That was taking attention away from these kinds of discussions. I think that like this is exactly what people like Remphamus or SGW Spider-Man are doing. Is they're trying to bring the discussion to these other things. I think those are okay to talk about too. But yeah, the discussion that they're avoiding is the quality in comics and the decline of the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, that's, all of this is going to be a distraction. Look, when, let's just say that Marvel does have to pack it in. Let's just say the reason why not SJWs, IDW, it's the same thing, borrowed $20 million was because they knew this contract was coming. Okay. They were going to be publishing Marvel characters. Listen, if they're going to publish Marvel characters, that's every reason to give IDW another chance, from a stockholder's perspective, right?
Debatable.
Well,
I mean, look at the Marvel sales; it's not much better.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it wouldn't be worth a try. I think it is. I think you could convince people. You could convince your stock holders that your shareholders that hey, if we just get a hold of these bigger properties, we're going to be publishing Avengers and X-Men and Spider-Man. Just give us a chance. It's convincing. It's worth the risk, I think, in people's minds. So that the fact that they borrowed that kind of money is, I hate to say it, man, it is it's evidence. It kind of supports the theory, supports this conspiracy theory.
Also, with going further, they've been borrowing money in very inappropriate ways too. I think they can't get conventional bank loans anymore. They've been borrowing it from people that are in chair positions. So they've been borrowing it internally, which says they are in dire disarray too. When you can't get a conventional loan anymore because people are saying you're overstressed. You've gone out and you've diluted your company that much. I mean, that's a crazy thing. And then when you see companies doing business like cross-laterally like that, when you see an IDW publishing a Marvel title, it should raise some kind of flag. It should say something about what's going on in the industry. It should say something about where Marvel is right now, what they're looking at, because comics are so important to Marvel that they're going to outsource some of their stuff and on. I mean, there's a lot of conversations that are brought up in that, and none of them are healthy.
Guys, can you chat among yourselves? Can you get this thing? Can you keep the chat going? I got to go up and get Ava and bring her down. She's not going to sleep, so she's going to run around my studio while we continue with the live stream. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on the discussion. I'll be right back.
Oh, well, now that Nerd Wonder's here, it's time for me to go.
You're going to kick yourself.
Well, it is always the right time to kick Master. That is something that has not changed in 2019. It is always the right time to kick Master.
No, I really do got to go, though. Beep boop. See you guys. Tell Ethan I said bye.
Bye, Master.
You ever miss
what?
hearing Nasser when he says that? And it sounds, I thought instead of beep boop, it sounded something like eat poop. What are you saying?
It did sound something of that factor.
Beep boop.
Let's not explore that
go
because there might be a story there, and I don't want to hear it. I just
Beep
don't.
boop.
We don't want to know about some fetish.
I got to say a
Fecal
little
fetish.
more robotic.
101011110.
Beep boop. All right, bye.
I don't think I've heard Sweetcast talk very much in one of these. That was kind of interesting too.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk more, but there's a lot going on, and I don't know, trying to say something meaningful, I guess.
No, it's actually good. Like the restructuring of wording. I think that's actually a very good point there. I mean, we see that when you look at our current year lexicon. When you talk about punching Nazis and all kinds of other stuff, I think that's a very important part of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it in other realms. In higher education, it's going on a lot. Like all these conversations, they have like an underlying reason. They have some justification for why it should be. And so it's really interesting seeing these ideas sort of filter out into the mainstream world, and the ideas get rejected a lot by a lot of people. But yeah, it's a lot different in higher education than it is in practice.
All right, I'm back. False alarm.
Hey, did you go see Aquaman? Did you go see Aquaman?
No, I have not seen Aquaman. I mean to. I can't get out. I really can't get out right now. It's very, very difficult. So how is it?
It was okay.
It was good, man. It's good. It's a great comic book movie. It
thought
was
it was
fun.
great.
It was
didn't
missing
preach.
things. It did a lot of telling and not showing, I feel, like at least in the end when they were doing the epic wars. It's like, where did you come from? You only mentioned him like once. And then then this shows up out of nowhere. I'm like, I wish they were in the beginning, or you set this up a little bit more. It was still a good movie, but you more set up.
Right. I need to see it. I think it's probably really, really good. From what I'm hearing, and I support the whole idea of how how that movie's being marketed. I love the idea of it's like Conan the Barbarian on the one hand, but then the ladies like it too. That's how to do it. That's how to bring women into the theaters. It's not by having a feminist character kick the crap out of men. That's how to get
my mom into the theater.
The more shirtless he is, the more interested I got, and he was shirtless a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
Just
pretty much constantly, right?
Yeah. This is so good. Sorry, I just actually came on here to say happy New Year's to everybody, and I hope you guys are having a good beginning of 2019. I actually have to go, but
well,
sorry.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us.
All right. I'll see you guys later. I'll go chase after Nasser and try and put him back in for you guys.
Did Nasser leave because of you? Is that what it was?
Yes, he obviously left because of me,
All right, let me read some of these super chats here. Let's see. Do you have any projects that you can tell us about for 2019? Asked Tanya. Also, as an ex-DC illustrator, did you enjoy the animated series Justice League? Yeah, that was really, really good. Projects for 2019 are Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet and Rainbow Brute. Also, Cecil is going to be doing Cecil's doing something with me. John Malin's Graveyard Shift is going to be published through All Caps Comics, his second issue. Or I guess it'll be a new #1, but I've got John Malin. And then also Fearsome, which is my third project that's going to be drawn by Kane and White. So it's a lot. We got a lot going on this year. It's going to be really, really fun. Chris W says, young girl, get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of line. Better run, girl. You're too much, girl. Yeah, I know. Mellow E says, oh, God, no. Kick Nasser. Bring Edwin on. Your wish is my command. That's exactly what happened, Edwin. Nasser kicked himself. And Mellow E says, hi, Tug. Hi, Kyung. Boo, Nasser. A lot of Nasser hate today. Ian House says, I thought Dave Sim was like Amish. Why would he be on the internet? Yeah, he's what's known as a Luddite, guys. He doesn't have the internet, and he uses fax machines. And it's a struggle. It is a struggle, but you can call him on the phone. It's just, I don't know. I don't really know. We won't get into it much.
Hey, can I catch one of these super chats, Ethan, that just rolled across?
Yeah.
This is from a Churus77 for $5. He says, just supported Battle Maiden Knucklebum. Thanks for the reminder, Edwin. FYI,
cool.
Aquaman was good. Oh, right on. Thank you so much. Ken Lee's fantastic too. An American-made manga is such a great concept.
I agree. That Battle Maiden Knucklebomb looks dynamite. If you guys haven't backed it yet, you really should. And you're watching Kyung draw right now. So that's kind of fun as well. Good job. All right, so let's see. Donuts One says, doesn't seem too weird. Cecil's wife hasn't been born yet. By the way, where's Bagel? And hail Ro Kabir, General of the Phoenix Legions. Yeah, is Ro in here? Ro's not in here. Pamboy Lando, Soy Child Dong Lover. Oh, I want to talk about you. Hail Caesar, Happy New Year. We have faith that ComicsGate artists will never betray the customers by sending out private information. Hashtag Kick Nasser. This right here is a mess, guys. What's going on with Panboy, Lando, Soy Child, Dong Lover? and it's a shame that I have to say something serious while I have to say that name. All right, so there is a ComicsGate dude, and I'm gonna let you use your imagination who this person might be, who is offering to dox this gentleman, Panboy, for the benefit of somebody who has trouble with him. Now, obviously, once something like that happens, I don't even know what to say. That, whoever did that, they need, their identity needs to be made public, because you can't, you hold people's personal information in trust. And if you would do that to somebody out of some political grievance, then, people need to know that at the very least. People need to know that you're capable of doing that, so that they do not support anything that you do in the future. Okay, and the person who is threatening to do this, from what we understand, is not one of us. It's not someone in here. It's not someone I associate with. And I'll just leave it at that. And I'm sorry, Lando. I hope, I hope this sorts its way out. It's not right at all. It's not ComicsGate. It's dirty.
When people have these arguments online, we get passionate about stuff. Don't let it spill off the internet. Like, there is no reason anybody should ever feel threatened in real life because of a discussion about comic books. And if you find yourself getting to that position, do everything you can to de-escalate. We don't need to win. We don't need to win or take every online fight to another level. Look for a place to de-escalate. But I tell you what, Ethan, if I ever find a creator that is not preserving the confidentiality of their contributors and backers' information, that is disgusting. I would never support that person.
Horrible.
I would never support someone that did that. No, absolutely not.
How hard is it to say, hey, argue all you want? That's fine. You can argue vehemently, but come on, like targeting people's actual lives, going after them outside of it. What do you?
Somebody who supported you.
It's
somebody
absolutely
who gave you money.
unnecessary. That's scary.
Even if not, even the other side of it. I'm ardently anti-doxing. That's not there. The other side does that. That's their thing. That's why they call you racist and Nazi and on. So when they go after your real life, people say, oh, well, that's okay. You're a Nazi. If we should know better. We should definitely know better. But I don't know. I think most people that you're talking to do know better. It's just it's beyond absurd that you have to have these conversations.
I agree. And by the way, I want to thank, just on another subject real quick, thank you to the subscribers. We just passed 90,000.
Congratulations.
Wow, congrats.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you. 90,000 subscribers for Comic Artist Pro Secrets.
Almost there.
Awesome. What a great way to ring in the new year. So thank you guys. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that, Lando. And, again, let's just say that obviously ComicsGate requires you to, if you're holding people's info, please hold it in confidence and trust. Okay. Donut Swan says, wasn't Nasser supposed to get his brow or back wax live when Brutus hit 30K? I don't know about that. Buckaroo Bonsai says, get Yellow Flash on Champion of the Gate. Mark C says the time period he appears to be talking about is 97, 98-ish, so 20 years ago. James Dean, creator of Conflict. Oh, by the way, I'll ask about that. I'm not going to speculate about that anymore. It's, for one thing, it makes me, I don't like it. I'll ask him about it, and we'll see if there's something he wants to say. James Dean, creator of Conflict, says, Ethan, I know I wasn't a guest on the show, but thank you for the super chat option. By advertising to a gigantic target market with some direct help from others, I sold over $8,000 of my first book. That's James Dean, creator of Conflict. Thank you, James Dean. And congratulations. Go back, Conflict by James Dean on IndieGoGo. The DJD show live says, Happy New Year, Hail Pie King. Soon, new EVS parody soon. Mellow E says, disavow me, put me in a timeout. I want to be the first. Hi, Edwin. Everyone loves Edwin.
Everybody does.
When Edwin shows up, it's a big deal. People really love Edwin, and I don't blame them. Edwin's like everyone's dad.
He's the heart of this whole movement.
He is. I don't think Edwin's older than me.
It's the.
I am just a few days away from turning 46.
All right, you're 2 years older than me, so you could be my big brother. But yeah.
And by the way, I've got to go for just a minute for dinner. But I just wanted to say again, on the first year of 2019, congratulations, man! You had an amazing year. You've helped a lot of people, and I hope you have twice as much success this year. And I'm going to be cheering along and trying to help make this a fantastic year for you and everybody else.
Edwin, I'm humbled by the success that people have allowed me to have and given me. And I'm humbled by your support and everyone in the chat support, and grateful for it because look, I don't know. It doesn't. Not everybody gets treated this way. I do appreciate it. I definitely do appreciate it, and I will try my best to use everything that I have, all of my extra time to support ComicsGate creators this year, and that is a promise.
Aloha, brother.
Aloha, mahalo. All right, so let's see. Think Whale C1 says think about Comic Artist Pro Secrets has a nice ring to it. Harry Bergeron says there's literally no evidence of grooming, may have happened or may have met here and written letters until years later. That's right. He doesn't say anything about grooming. That's all. You're like, people are filling in the blanks there. Mellow E says NASA running away from a woman. James Dean, creator of Conflict, says, to the backers of Conflict and Varsity Comics, my campaign store ends tonight. Varsity has already paid the co-writer and is a debt-free indie. I encourage all new ComicsGate creators to do good business. Atura76 supported Battle Maiden Knucklebomb. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. James Dean, creator of Conflict, says, what is the premise of Fearsome, Ethan? We should talk about that. All right. The premise of Fearsome is basically I'm going to explain ghosts and what the spirit world is and what ghosts do, and it's about a guy whose father, and his elderly father, is on life support. He owned a big house in a really nice suburban neighborhood, very, very nice neighborhood, and so this guy, his son, who is kind of poor and has narcolepsy. He is being asked to watch over the house until his father either, presumably dies. He's not going to come out of his coma. And what he discovers while he's living in his father's house in this suburban neighborhood is very, very dark. And it involves not trusting any of your neighbors. Nobody is, the nice mailman, the lady who walks her dog. Nobody is who they actually seem to be. And he can see that very clearly when he falls asleep and enters this upside down version of the world. So that's kind of it's a rough kind of elevator pitch. We'll get into that more. It is a superhero horror book, and I did an initial rough design of Fearsome. Kanan White took that design. Understood exactly what I was looking for and kicked its ass upside down. It is totally awesome. It is. I think it's going to be great. I really do think it's great.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
man, that sounds awesome.
Rebel Leaf says this is what you pitched to Dixon. Yes, that is right. I had Chuck Dixon on, and I pitched it to him then. So I think most of you guys have heard about it. Some of the regulars have heard about it already. But I hope you dig it. Let's see. Oh, Comic Book Hut.
Sorry.
Yeah, what is that noise? Do you have a fan on? I'll bet you have your fan on.
I had anything on.
You sound good now, but then you sound bad.
It's so weird. It's like for like 1 second, and it was like clear.
Whenever he talks, it's clear.
Oh.
See that?
Yeah.
That's weird. And it's like I'm a big fan of Comic Book Hut. I really want him on and participating, desperately. All right. So John Whalen says, "Careful with the pie traps when you're feral, naked eat." Okay. Proper Jeremy says, "Comic Girl Ava's awesome. Thanks for the follow back."
Oh, well, thank you.
And Mark C says, "Dude, Aquaman rode a giant seahorse and made rings calling fish. The movie was awesome." So they basically tried to make it look like Aquaman, It didn't seem like it was going to be that way. I thought it was going to be like, you know, the Justice League movie where he just didn't look like Aquaman. Economics and Comics says, Happy New Year, everyone. Donald Keller says, I have a full-blown story for my own American manga. I just lack money. LOL, he says as he donates money. Thanks, Donald. Tyler Preston, Ethan, tell a woman to smile. It'll drive Renfamous and SJW Spider-Man mad since they're currently watching the stream. Yeah, they probably are watching the stream. Hello, ladies. James Dean, creator of Conflict, congratulations on 90,000. Thank you so much. And James Dean, creator of Conflict, also says, Kyung, that looks great. Can't wait for my copy. And Donut Swan says, Ethan should groom Nasser live. I feel like I have been, you know.
Well, isn't that what this all is? It's everything has been live with it every time he's on, slowly grooming.
I couldn't be more transparent about it, you know.
Yeah, I think you're just letting everyone know already. You know, it's like under their nose, pretty much, but it's like in front of their face.
Absolutely. Yeah, Chris Neville says, remember you get nice checks from the Justice League movie, Ethan. Yeah, that's right. I got to be nice about Justice League. Not crazy about that movie, but yeah, it does. It has been very good to me. Rebel Leaf says, is Renfamous on the stream? I don't know. We're joking. They're probably listening. You know, they're probably all listening. All right. So in any case, I think I got to go. I got to wrap this stream up. I want to thank everybody for joining and being a part of this. Thank you so much, Umbrella Guy. Thank you so much, Comic Book Hut. We got to fix your sound issues. Kyung Lee, congratulations on Battle Maiden, Knuckle Bomb, and Sweet Cast. Thank you. Comic Book Girl Ava, thank you. And definitely Andrew Huerta. Thank you, guys. Everybody back Sovereign by Andrew Huerta on IndieGoGo. You are absolutely the best customer base and fan base that anyone could ever ask for. And we're going to have a great year this year. 2019 is going to be dynamite. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I can't wait. Really.
I think it's going to be a good year for everyone.
I do too. I do too. Mark C says, remember to read Ren's tweets in Skeletor. And Comics Exposed says, Ethan, please leave the stream up so I can watch it later. I can't watch it live now and fix that freaking noise. Kick someone. It's Comic Book Hut. I know. Comic Book Hut. We got to figure out what's causing that noise so that you can participate.
Maybe in the DMs we'll all talk and try to figure out a good microphone for him.
Yeah. That might be the way to do it. All right, guys. With that, have a great day. I'm getting back to work. Thank you so much. And I will see you on Twitter and with a new video tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.